This mic works. If you want to join the topic. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Can someone comment? I'm trying this microphone thing. It's like a thumbs up. It has a heart, but could you comment a thumbs up would be sick. Can you hear me? One person comments a thumbs up, and I know if someone can hear me. Anyone? A thumbs up? Yeah. Yes, okay, cool. That's all. I appreciate it. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, well, I'll do some topics here, different stuff. I just want to say thanks, everyone. I haven't done these in a while, and I probably should. I have a lot of followers. It's cool you guys follow me. When I first started this platform, it's kind of weird because you almost don't want to address that you have followers, like people like your stuff you post. And then you're like, oh, I probably, it's very thankful everyone does like my stuff. So it's really cool. Thank you guys. This is, you can't see it, my cornfield, not my cornfield, the cornfield you guys probably have seen in videos before. In fact, let's see if I can turn it. You guys can look at it. That's the cornfield. Cool. Right on. So people can hop on. I think I will be able to hear you. Oh, Blaine's on here. He's going to jump higher than me. I don't want him on here. He's going to make me feel bad. Blaine, by the way, before I go any further, I love the fact that he posts a video of him jumping, and everyone is an iconic cornfield. Everyone thinks it's done backwards just because they've never seen someone that athletic. I'm not that athletic. I wish I was. So if you guys want to join me, by the way, you need to enter in a topic you want to talk about. I appreciate that. You're welcome, David. Bounciest dad in the game. Well, I think Blaine's technically a dad, so maybe he beat me. So if you guys want to join the conversation, you're allowed to. You just got to comment in the little comment section here that you want to join, but also like what topics. I can't just take someone on who just starts saying wild things, so I appreciate it. But cool, so we'll just kind of hop in, and I have some things I want to cover. And I'll look at these message requests. I'm just going to start accepting it, and we'll see what the heck happens. So, Blaine is a freak. We all want to be kind of like Blaine, to be honest with you. He can use that as my testimony. Oh gosh, sorry. So, talking about strength training, performance stuff, all the fun stuff. One of the things I don't talk about on here because it's kind of not long-winded, but it's hard to make a post about, is actually organizing your training. Yeah, can we chat about nutrition-based help for explosive training? Absolutely. You want to hop on here and you want to have a conversation, David? You can do that. I think you had a request. I'd rather talk to someone else than myself as things kind of get underway here. I think we can actually have multiple people join this. I'm not really sure. But regardless, we're talking about nutrition stuff. That's actually a good question. It is amazing, by the way, how often poor nutrition can ruin. It seems like most types of training obviously do, but really explosive training. And what I mean by that, what I've found anecdotally is if I don't have enough carbohydrates off the bat, my nutrition, my training can absolutely just go right downhill. Absolutely trash. So if I'm trying to lose weight and I know I'm not getting as much or as many carbs as I normally do because I just have a lower caloric intake, nutrient timing becomes really important. So right before the workout, I'll make sure I get enough carbs. During the workout, I'll make sure I get enough carbs. And if I have to train again later in the day, making sure that post-workout window I get carbs because I start that recovery process. Now, if I'm eating just a lot of food because I'm on a bulk or whatever I might be, I'm not so concerned about the timing of the nutrients because I'm just getting enough nutrients as it is. It's really common that you'll see if you have like enough food, I'll just say pizza because I like pizza. If you eat a big pizza the night before and you go and work out the next day, it is amazing how much more energy you have, especially if you haven't been eating that many carbs in the first place. It's really astounding. And 1 second, I gotta add this because it is a great example of how you weren't really fully carb ready and how nutrient timing does matter. And nutrient timing isn't just like the meal right before your workout, but maybe like 12 hours before if you missed a meal and certain things like that. It really does play a large role. So for explosive athletes, for running and jumping for myself, I like to have enough carbs and also have something that doesn't upset my stomach. Eat the whole pizza. Absolutely. I am a pro pizza person. I eat lots of pizza. I also have a TikTok, by the way, where I review random things, and I've been really big into reviewing hamburgers. I'm a big hamburger person. So, fun fact. So feel free feel free to join, request to join. I gotta write this in real quick. Request to join, but you need to ask a question. Oh boy, I can't type. Ask a question first. I think I could pin this. I haven't done this in a minute. Well, let's see if that works. Does that have any typos? I always have so many typos everywhere. Pin the comment. Cool, so I can flip back through and we'll see. Excellent question, made me hungry now. I just ate my lunch. All right, so if you have a question, ask. So I got some invites. Dylan asked. Dylan, if you have a question, maybe you asked the question. I missed some questions because I was typing in it. If you have a question, let me know. I see he has a request to join. If you want to join, that'd be awesome. You have to try Blues Burgers in Dallas. So I live in Iowa, and I go around eating hamburgers in Iowa and pretend to review them like I'm some important reviewer. But a good hamburger, the patty obviously plays a role, but underrated is the bun aspect and how that dances with the cheese aspect. Fun fact. So keep asking questions, by the way, if you have questions. What's your best workout to help me smash a baseball? Get yoked? No. The Bill Miller has a lot of good stuff on it. I want to swing fast and things like that. If you guys would like to join, feel free to join. You're allowed to join. So I have a request, or let's just see what happens. I do data analysis for my athletes. It totally depends. Certain groups I actually don't do much at all. Certain groups I do a lot more. It becomes a logistical problem sometimes with larger groups, and also not really that informative. Every bit of data you collect has to be informative. So maybe just knowing sets and reps is good, and like jump heights and speeds. But for someone who's more meticulous and you have an N of one in one person, and that person's an older athlete, you're trying to squeeze out the nth degree of what they're trying to accomplish, then maybe trying to track more specifics is important. All right, Dylan, you're being excited. Well, I'm not sure who joined. If you guys want to join these, please feel free to join. I would rather have a conversation with someone. Oh, Dylan!
Hey.
And I'm assuming that's who it is. I have no idea how this works. So
I've never done this either, but
right on.
Pretty cool to be on here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. What questions you got?
So I guess I am a collegiate athlete. I play volleyball. I'm a junior this year. I've been dealing with ankle injuries my whole career so far. I broke it back freshman year. Thought it was fine over the last couple years. Ended up having an OATS ankle surgery this summer, which is where they gave me new cartilage in my joint. So I guess specifically might be a more medically, as somebody with a PhD or something like that. I just saw my surgeon this morning. He didn't really have much to say on it. But what would your suggestions be in terms of maintaining, fascial integrity, maintaining mobility and strength when recovering from some sort of operation? I've been trying to keep my right leg intact, being that it's my left ankle. So I've been training right leg as much as I can, doing as much single leg work, isometrics as I can, only having one leg to weight bear on. But what would your suggestions be there?
So it's tough. First off, not a doctor, no medical advice. Let me throw all the disclaimers out there I need to. I've had knee surgery and I've had severe ankle injuries, both. And my biggest regret with the ankle injury is that I could have trained other aspects up the chain. So my knee, my hip, the ankle itself, if it's surgery, obviously there's a given amount of time for just the general healing. And then I'm not bashing any physical therapy, but a lot of times not every physical therapist is like return to athletics. It's like
so this morning after I saw the surgeon was just cleared to start walking again. So I just ditched the boot this morning and was told I could start PT. So that's honestly my biggest concern right now is after having done PT the last few years, you go to some place and you see a bunch of 6-year-olds doing clamshells, and that's not exactly what I need to, be an athlete.
To the PT, ask them questions. So that's a lot of times you go into there, and especially as an athlete, you kind of just assume that they know everything. Yeah. But as someone now, I'll come on the other end, like I'm only going to do as much as the athlete asks. And so a lot of times they might not know, but they might know someone who knows. And so it's really important when you go to see them, you're like, these are my absolute concerns. Like, this is what I want to accomplish. These are my concerns. And you're allowed to ask, is this doing the right thing? Is this the right path? What do you think about this? Because you are a client in that sense. And a lot of athletes, when they come in, they just go, okay, we'll make my ankle better. And the PT now feels all the onus on them. And so they're just going to be like, yeah, we did this and you're good, I hope. not all the time, some are wonderful and great, but they might not realize that, oh, rate of force development is important for you, or like my ability to handle multiple ground contacts. Like my PT in high school, when I had a severe ankle injury my senior year, I was cleared because I could do speed ladder, and I couldn't touch the rim anymore.
That's about exactly what happened to me after my injury. I was cleared to be on the ground, and then I went into practice and went to jump and walked right back into the training room.
Mm-hmm. And so it's asking those questions, and then seeing, like, even in an intrusive way, if they don't answer them the way you would like, maybe like say other people that I can reach out to.
Mm-hmm.
And really asking questions, because as a practitioner, I would never be offended if I was asked something I didn't know, but they wanted help. So like, I have a lot of athletes like, oh, can I get, nutritional work? I can get blood work done. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I know people who do. And so I can help you get there. But if you never told me that, or you didn't tell me your ankle hurts, I can't x-ray it, but I know PTs or docs who can.
Yeah.
And so asking that question is really important. And that's like a big thing. I kind of, not to get all like preachy, but like, if you're an athlete, it's amazing how much more control you have. And when I was in that setting, I always felt like I was just following orders.
Yeah.
Oh, they told me to do this, I'm going to do this. I just want to play my sport again. So I'm just going to like hope things go well.
That's how it's kind of been the last couple of years, and I've not gotten anywhere. So,
by the way, the hat collection, I have to ask now, because there's like 34 hats in the back here. Is it a purpose?
No, not really. It's kind of I don't know. I just moved in this place recently and was looking to fill the walls up, and I had a lot of in the closet, so I bought a little hat rack and threw it up there.
Fair enough. Yeah. Love it. And what college do you go to?
It's called Wentworth Institute of Technology. It's out in Boston. We're a D3 school.
Are you super smart then if you're going to some technology school?
I majored in business.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe not. I'd like to think I'm fairly intelligent, but according to the rest of my peers here who are all engineers, I definitely would fall towards the bottom of that
what
chain.
career do you want to go into then?
Project management.
Okay.
That's my focus right now.
What does that mean? Well, you can't just say project management. What project?
So, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of different forms of project.
I have no idea.
I have experience in construction.
Okay.
I've worked for a couple of PCs as a project manager. I didn't exactly love the construction aspect of it, so I think I'd want to go more towards just project-based within a company, whether that's expansion, whether that's research, whatever it is, kind of just more projects like that, not construction projects is likely where I'd like to go with my career.
Very cool. So my last bit of advice for you, come on, switch out and got some other questions coming in, is that don't forget you're an athlete.
Yeah.
Even though you're D3, what I mean by that, not physically, when you go into your career, it's so amazing how often the fact that you were an athlete actually can help you get into situations, whether it's sales, whether it's like the position you're in, connecting with people, relating. It's just a wide breadth of information you have because you were an athlete. And a lot of times as an athlete, we go in and we don't even mention it on our resume. Oh, we're a D3 athlete. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? But to other people, they never were an athlete. So you're actually kind of in like the 1% of a population that plays a collegiate sport. And that's really important when you start to look across careers. And again, it's maybe not as important in engineering, but you'd be surprised at how often, just because you were an athlete with an engineering background, that might make you more suitable to maybe give, as wild as it might sound, consulting on how you design facilities for whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So that's my bit of advice for you. Is you'd be so amazed at how that stuff that you do in college, when you do it, you just do it because you like it. You don't think much of it. And this is how I was. Like, I just ignored it and pushed it off. And then your next thing you know, you're like interviewing people. I had to interview people myself, and then they mention that this and this and this. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, that makes total sense, because like as an athlete, you had team management, all these things that people didn't get exposed to that you just think are so mundane. Mm-hmm. So that's my bit of advice to you from a business side, because you're kind of in the business world.
Thank you.
Don't suppress what you think is normal, because it's probably anomalous to others. It's like not common to be an athlete. So you'd be really surprised. Even like little things, like because you were a D3 athlete and you want to go do a podcast, you can talk about your athletic background, and then you could somehow leverage that into maybe whether you just enjoy it, you could just be a coach, because that's a whole career path just by being an athlete in of itself. But even just making connections. I'll just leave it there, because I could go a long-winded conversation about this, about people who I know who are athletes who just like ignore the fact that they're an athlete. And you're like, dude, like that alone is really helpful. So that's just my 2 cents for you.
Identity your whole life, it's definitely not easy to step away from it. So I appreciate that.
enjoy college, enjoy being getting your ankle stronger. Sorry about the news, and
I'm doing
have a good year.
road to recovery. So
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. You know, I screwed my ankle up, and it still bothers me to this day, but it's functional and it works just fine. And one of the things I've realized is as it's been never really recovered, you kind of just got to do things that you can tolerate well enough, and you don't need to be like concerned. Do I need to squat full range of motion again? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I ever can on my left leg. I've had knee surgeries and ankles on it.
yeah.
I don't know, but I can still run and play the sports I love, and that's my end goal. So, let you go. I think you have to hang up on me. I think that's how that works.
Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, my man.
Well, thank you for having me on here, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was cool. Awesome. Thank you, Dylan. So we have other people can join and ask questions, and I might do this for a couple more minutes here. No was a comment. I'm not sure why a comment was no. Hopefully it's a good no, like no. Like, yeah, like no. What's my diet like? I eat ice cream a lot. So here's my trick for dieting people. People think about diets. I'm a weirdo. I'm a nerd. And I like to evaluate food. This is so nerdy to talk about it like this. Gosh, I sound so boring. I like to think about taste and flavor that I value. Like, I really like the flavor and taste of ice cream. I like ice cream. I like hamburgers. I don't really care much for like breakfast foods. And so when I look at my entire allotment of like calories I need for a day, on certain areas I don't value that much, like lunch or certain breakfast, I don't really eat as much of that food. I just get my nutrients I need from it. And if I like certain foods, I'll make sure not to sacrifice them because I want to make sure I eat them because I enjoy them. And so it's kind of like a weighting of interest. And I'll know what I'm going to have that day. If I know I'm going to eat ice cream that day, I'm going to make sure I have enough room for ice cream in my diet. So that's kind of like my diet. I make sure I get enough protein, get the macros done, and then I weigh my nutritional interests. Someone else wants to join here. All right. Let's accept this here. We'll see if this is accepted. I think this is how this works. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I just hit accept, and I think people can appear on here. We got someone else. Say your name for me, by the way. I cannot pronounce that.
Hello, Max. My name is George in the international name. My name is Yorgos in Greek. Yes, I'm from Greece, and I'm a strength and conditioning coach in soccer in Oslo, Norway, Vålerenga. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. All the way across the
all the way across to the other side of Atlantic. Yes, yes. So I don't want to have a lot of your time, Max. Actually, yes, because actually a lot of people possibly waiting you to come and join. Yes, I've been watching you.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yes. Yes, actually, you know, I've been watching you the last 3 years. I'm really surprised of that. Yes, because all the thank you for what you've done for the researches about that all.
Thank you.
Because you know, I don't know if you know about how it works in soccer and the plyometrics or generally being an athlete. Because a lot of coaches, a lot of managers out there are not trusting the S&C coach out there. It's not an easy job to go there. You have to prove yourself a lot. Yes, to keep your athletes healthy. A lot of things. So my main question about our podcast is about the performing enhancement. What have you done to your athletes 48 to 24 hours before the match? Actually, you use some kind of what have you will done if you were in a S&C coach in the soccer? Would you prefer to do high intensity plyometrics, big jumps, or doing some heavy squats about performance enhancement? What's your point of view about that?
So I work with more individuals, so take that how you want. Mm-hmm. And in the off season, we work to figure out how they respond because everyone seems to be really different. For example, I have a goalkeeper who I've worked with, Steve Clark, who plays for the Houston Dynamo, I believe now, and he likes to do certain things, and he likes he gets certain lifts make him really tired, like a squat might make him tired. And that's the case. Well, we're not going to do it. I have another athlete, though, who likes to squat before they play. And it makes them feel really good. And I don't know why. I can't tell you the difference as to why. I have no clue. I'm not smart enough to go inside their body. I know when I do RDLs, I'm really tired for some reason for multiple days. I, on the other hand, can jump just about every day. And I think a lot of it has to do with the person's background. If someone's like naturally more inclined to jumping, they've jumped a lot in their whole training career, that might be quicker turnaround time for them to get ready. Another athlete I've worked with, the guy who likes to lift, has lifted his whole life. He's a former football player. If for some reason it makes him feel strong, and the way he plays the sport, he plays it in a strong way. Now, does it make him magically jump higher or not jump higher? Probably not. Does it make him feel good to play the sport? Yes. And if he feels good to play the sports, isn't that the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish? Like, what is readiness? Is readiness the peak performance you possibly could do? Or is it just feeling ready to play? Because if I was a basketball player, I would rather I'd rather feel ready to play than to say, oh, I'm going to jump my highest today, but I don't actually feel that ready. Because there are two differences. We've all had those days we've gone into the gym, we don't feel good, but we perform really well. And we've had days where we feel good, but we don't perform as well. I just care about them performing well. And so from that mindset, I can't give you like a clear answer, except for the player having a lot of onus to, so they take a lot of responsibility. I look at my players and said, look, you're a professional athlete. If you don't know what gets you ready for a game, we have bigger problems.
Yeah.
Like you're getting paid to play. So what do you want to do? And then you ask them, did it work? Did it not work? And I think the big issue with a lot of our culture and other teams' culture is teams will hire you and they say, oh, you go do that. And then the players will just kind of just listen to you. And then you feel all the responsibility to try and pick the perfect recipe, even though you have, 30 different people. And you're like, well, how could I possibly pick, everyone's favorite slice of pizza? It's like ordering pizza. Who knows what everyone wants?
Yeah, that's perfect example.
And so when we get near within the games, you might make it like optional based on how they feel. Do we go 48 hours? Do we go 24 hours? We'll have two windows, maybe one 48 hours, one 24, and you get to pick what you want to do. And maybe guys who play less will want to do the 24-hour ones, and the guys who play more will do 48. And then it's not based on anything. We start with logic, and then we work from science.
Yeah.
We don't start with like some like regimented, like scientifically, well, it might be the best way to get them to have the highest trap bar velocity, but they're playing soccer, so who cares?
They play soccer because forgive me for saying this, but actually a lot of soccer players and managers are actually performing their athletes. They want to do some kind of sprints. They want to do some kind of reaction drills. Okay, this is good. This is realistically, but never forget that what we learn from you and from everybody else, that they are athletes. They want to move fast, actually, with only doing some kind of reaction drills. Is 5-4 meters, okay, but we want to make them jump. We want to make them sprint. We want to make them sprint, not straight forward, and changing direction also. And that's why I was asking this kind of question. Yes, what to do with high plyometric jumps and performing things, but it was a good answer. Thank you about that. Thank you.
One thing you could think about too is you don't want to test things in season. And so with my athletes, when I trained an individual all the way through the season, off season, his rehab, and the whole continuum, and we said, look, in season, we're just going to do things we know that don't bother you. Because, and we're going to learn that though in the off season. So in the off season, we're very conscious about, oh, how did that lift make us feel? Oh, did we feel good the next day? Oh, when I do an isometric, I actually feel good the next day. But when I do, a heavy squat, it takes like 3 days to recover. So we gather that information in the off season. So come in season, we apply it. It's not like this off season, then in season. And no, it's let's learn us, the human. Then let's learn how we kind of respond. We know we have more bandwidth for air in the off season because you can take 2 days off to recover. And then in season, once we know what works, let's just keep what works, because you're getting paid to play. I'm not trying to have a guy run faster in season. I'm just trying to have him not run slower. That's kind of how I look at it.
Well, Max, yes, I'm really looking forward for you to make some kind of videos to help us for the soccer community. I know you're great to the basketball, but please give some kind of information for the soccer. Thank you for letting me inside. Yes, cheers, and please take care, man.
Take care.
Bye.
Awesome. Very cool. Great questions. I'll take a couple more. If people have questions, if people want to hop on here, you're allowed to. Someone asked me my favorite basketball shoe. I'd like the LeBron 20s right now. My favorite basketball shoe, actually, the Russell Westbrook's Why Nots 2.0s. Those are my favorite basketball shoes. I have some Kobe's I really like as well. I think that's going to be everyone we have here today. Unless anyone else wants to join, you're allowed to join. You just got to let me know the question, and we can hop on and have a short discussion. But you got to message me like in this little message area. I think I'm pointing at it. Me typing. Best load stress management plan for team sports athlete in season, off season. If I knew I would get paid a lot more money, the athletes typically know really well. What do you like to do for recovery as in fatigue? If it even applies, food a lot of times can really help. Sleep is also corny, food and sleep. If it's a longer period of time, window of recovery, I might do, like I said, 3 days to recover. I might do hot, warm sauna work. If it's immediately, I might do like cold shower the night before or cold bath. If it's the morning of, I like to do contrast work. Kind of let you know a little secret there. I think that's everybody who has asked questions. I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to end up posting this whole thing onto YouTube. I think YouTube, maybe my podcast as well, whatever it might be. So I appreciate you guys listening as always. Thank you. Take care. And I hope to do this every lunch period. So around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, probably that 11:30 mark. I'm going to try to be doing this more often. And so if you guys want to, join in, more than welcome to. Appreciate you guys as always. Take care and peace out.